COVID-19 happened.
All right. I see.
And the borders closed, and I got stuck here. And it's amazing because I'll always remember my sort of friends and family saying, Richard, be careful. You're so close to China. You need to get away from there. It's so dangerous. Reach out.
Yeah.
They were saying that to me sort of end of February in 2020. And then at the end of March, they were all saying, Richard, don't come to the UK. It's a horrible nightmare here. Just stay where you are. It's much better there. It's a paradise. The beach, the beach is 30 seconds that way. The airport is 7 minutes that way.
Yes.
I mean, where in the world? Where in the world could you get from the airport to anywhere in the city in like less than 10 minutes? Hello.
Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. And how are you doing today?
I'm really well, thank you. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it.
You asked so nicely. I could not say no. It's a pleasure to be involved, and I'm looking forward to this. Allow me to sort of introduce myself properly first. So, you can call me Richard. You can call me Rich, Richard, wherever you'd like. I'm originally, I'm from Manchester, England, in the UK, but like so many tutors on here, I live abroad, and I live not too far away from you. I live in Vietnam, and I've been in Vietnam not quite as long as you've been in Thailand, but I've been here maybe 6 years now.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, it's lovely to meet you, and I've been quite busy today. I was kind of hoping to have a little look at some of your YouTube videos, but I haven't had any time. I'll have to do it later.
Have you had lots of bookings back-to-back sessions with students? Yeah.
It's just constant. It's I've been quite fortunate because I've been so busy, but also I've been meeting some lovely students recently. I've got a new group of regulars that I've picked up this summer, and they're all really nice. I've been very fortunate.
That's really good. Yeah, because some of them finish their subscriptions, and then you get a new batch.
Sometimes sad to see some go, but then you find someone new, and it's just lovely. Although I'll tell you a quick story. I did have an interesting student yesterday. This was yesterday. So she's maybe she's not long graduated from university. She's sort of early mid-20s.
Right.
She's from Suzhou, but she lives and works in Shanghai now.
I see.
And she was about 6 minutes late for a class yesterday.
Right.
And I was just sort of sat here, I was looking at my phone, and she came on, and I thought, hello. And she just said, hi, Richard. And that was it. And I kind of thought, 6 minutes late, I would be saying, sorry, I'm late, but she didn't say anything. So I decided I'm going to do whatever I can to try and get an apology out of her. So I said, I put on a performance. I said, oh my God, is everything okay? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, that's okay. I said, I was really worried about you. I thought maybe something had happened.
Right.
She said, no, that was it. I said, look, I'm going to give you a little tip, just a little bit of advice. Okay. If you were ever late for an appointment, a meeting, a class, a job interview, a really polite and respectful thing to do is just to say, sorry, I'm late.
That's great advice. Yeah.
And when I said that to her, do you know what she said? She said, okay.
Oh, so
And that was it. She didn't say anything else. So yeah,
yeah.
I understand sort of cultures are different, but and
Right,
I
yes.
mean the majority of students from China, they're all very polite, but just every
Right.
now and again you get a student like that.
Yeah. Do you think she was nervous and she didn't know what to like how to interact or?
No, we've been talking to each other for
Mhm.
about 5 weeks,
Oh,
and
right. Yes.
I think I was speaking to my partner. She's Vietnamese, and
Okay.
I was speaking to my partner last night about it. I told her the story, and her conclusion was quite interesting. She said
Mhm.
she thinks that perhaps in China, saying sorry is almost like sort of owning up to a mistake. It's like showing a weakness. They're
Oh,
like
that's
admitting.
interesting.
Yeah,
Thought, yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, I thought maybe that could be accurate. I'm not sure. I mean, as I said, the majority of them are absolutely fine. But this one girl, I don't think she was nervous. I think she just did not want to say sorry to me. But
I
I'll
see.
see if it happens again. She's already booked a class for next week, so we'll see what happens.
Right. Yes. In some cultures, like I'm originally from India, so in the
Yes.
Indian culture, there's not much stress on timekeeping. So, which means that you might turn up to a meeting or like a session like this a few minutes late, and the same when people like if you invite someone to your house and it's time to go, people hang around. It's just kind of part of the culture, and so there wouldn't be an apology. But yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if or she just had a bad day, or yeah. But you're right. I mean, that's really good advice, because if you go to a job interview or somewhere like that and you don't acknowledge that you are late and you don't apologize, it can go against you. Whereas if you show that sort of that kind of, I guess it's acknowledging your mistake. Yeah, it's just saying I'm really sorry, but I came late, and maybe give a reason why as well. So that's what many
Exactly.
students do, isn't it? Yeah.
Of course, it's natural for us to do that, but maybe she'll take my advice on. Hopefully, so. So please tell me a little bit more about yourself, because I'm very interested to hear your story, and also I've only been there once or twice, but I have to say St. Albans is a lovely place. It's a beautiful little town. I really enjoy St. Albans. I'm quite
got
jealous.
The Roman history, yeah. So basically, I mean, I was born in Kerala in South India, and my parents wanted to study in the UK. So they went 1 year before us. So I went, I'm going to give my age away. I went in 1979. Yeah, so that was the year that I went when I was 4. And they went the year before. So I stayed with my grandparents. My sister and I, we both stayed behind. Then they are doctors, well, they were doctors, they're retired now. So they went to do their medical exams. And once they passed, we went over. So that was like, so my sister was 5 and I was 4 at the time.
Okay.
And I mean, I guess they joined the NHS and then they just started climbing the career ladder, and England became home, basically. Yeah, like they were 24 and 25, so they were just starting out. And we were very young, and we went to school there. And when I started, Richard, when I first went to school, I couldn't speak any English at all, so it was just a few words here and there. I could sing Jack and Jill and all the nursery rhymes of that time, but I couldn't really string a sentence together. So going to school and kind of, I remember that feeling, which is what I say to some of my students, like even though I was much younger than many of my students now, just having that kind of barrier to speaking to people was quite tough in those early days, and wanting to say things but not knowing what to say, how to communicate my ideas. So I remember my sister and I would just hold hands and walk around the playground together, and then gradually, of course, I read somewhere that if you're below 12, it's easier to acquire the language, like you absorb it more easily.
Absolutely. Your parents were very smart. I'm going to be a little bit more specific, and I'm going to say the age that you and your sister were, I think sort of 5, 6, 7. Your brain is like a sponge, and will just absorb information. Children at that age, they pick up things, they learn things just so much easier than we do as adults. So your parents were very smart. I think had you been maybe a little bit older, like if you were a teenager, it would be so much more difficult. But at that age, a little bit easier to learn a new language. So your parents, they were smart. A big, brave, and courageous decision, but it paid off.
Yeah. And, you know, at the time that we moved there weren't many Indians in England, in our area. And in St. Albans as well, you know, there were not many Indian families, whereas now there are so many. And so it was a case of kind of, we were a bit of like the odd family. I remember our neighbors, like when I was a teenager, my neighbors said, you know, can you babysit my daughters? So we went across, my sister and I, and then her grandma called and she said, oh, who's looking after you? And she said, oh, you know, those Indians across the road. So we that was our kind of name. Yeah. But then gradually, of course, like, you know, you integrate. And once I said, you know, once I went to school and went to university, and I went to Roehampton and I did English language and linguistics. And then I guess I felt like I fitted in, you know, once you know the language, once you know, make friends. And of course, going to university, you meet friends from all over the world. So that was a great thing. And then, so I lived there for 35 years and my parents are still there now. So they are they've been there 50 years. Yeah. So but we still have our links with India. Like we would go in the holidays, we would visit every 2 years because my grandparents were there. But now they've passed away, we don't go so often. But I mean, I try to kind of keep in touch with the language because I think that is, even though I haven't lived in India to have enough memories of that experience, is important, I think, to know your, you know, the language and the culture.
Of course.
So, but I would say at home, like my children, they understand our language, but they can't speak. So, so that's quite tricky. So I'm trying to get them slowly to say bit by bit, because obviously they know English, they're fluent in English. So I think if they learn another language now, it would probably be easy for them to speak. And then 14 years ago, we moved to Thailand. So my husband got a job here. And we moved with the plan of staying for a couple of years, but it just happened, like in the same way that my parents went to England, we ended up staying for years and years, and the contract was extended, and now this is our home, I would say. Even though there's obviously I miss family and friends, and you know, we try to go every year and see everyone back in London. And it's interesting because St. Albans wasn't somewhere I appreciated at all growing up, because it was quite quiet and a little bit kind of, you know, not much happening. But now when I go back, I love it. It's so peaceful. It's so calm. You have the lake and the abbey, and it's just lovely. So I think you sometimes grow to appreciate things you didn't before. So that's about me.
Definitely. So it's when you're that age, I feel that I mean, it's nice that London's not too far away, but when you're a teenager, when you're in your 20s, you need something more. And St. Albans, it doesn't quite sort of have enough going on there. It doesn't sort of give you the same amount of restaurants and sort of things to do, activities and so on. It's a perfect place to retire. I would love to go there and retire. But as for when you're younger, I think you do need to be a little bit more closer to the city. And
yes, that's right.
I think one thing that we've got in common, and well, your family, your parents, we've done something that I do feel is very important for people to do, and that is live in another country, whether it's for studying, for working. I mean, a lot of the students that we will teach on here, this is what they're basically learning English to go and do. But I think it's so important to live in another country, because it opens your mind. And plus, we're only on this planet once. why would you want to limit yourself to just one country when there's so many wonderful places out there to see and to discover?
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind me
so
asking.
If someone was, yeah, sure, yeah.
Which part of Thailand are you in?
So I'm in Bangkok. Yeah. So the job is in Bangkok, so we're here. But if we get like a few days or a longer weekend, we'll go to some of the islands, like Phuket or Krabi or Koh Samui. So it's just life is just quite laid back here, I would say, and we have lovely neighbors, even though my Thai is not great, so I can't communicate so easily with them. But then they're just so warm. The people here are just so warm and friendly, and it's just lovely. I think it's just like a slower pace of life, I think, compared to England. So I love going back to England visiting, but then, I feel ready to come back as well when I've had some time. So we're actually going in September for my nephew's wedding. Yeah, we're going just for a very short visit, just for 10 days. So my sister's son is getting married. Yeah. So we're going to that, and then we'll be back. Yeah, so that's exciting. It'll be a big family reunion.
Lovely. I have to be honest. I haven't been back to the UK for almost 6 years.
Is that through choice or just because you've been busy? Yeah.
No, it's kind of through. It is through choice. I mean, to cut a long story short, my mum was a single parent. I was an only child, and she tragically passed away about 10 years ago. She died from cancer. So, to be honest, if she was still here, I would probably still be in the UK because I couldn't leave her. But so that sort of is one reason why I've not really gone back. And the other reason is, all of my friends, well, I've got maybe 8 or 9 friends I consider closer, like a brother could be, and half of them are all living, one in Australia, one in Dubai, one in Norway, one in Texas. So a lot of them are no longer in the UK, and then the other ones that are in the UK, they sort of say to me, Rich, instead of you coming back here, could we come and visit you in Vietnam?
So they get a bit of a holiday as well.
So Brexit, COVID, Queen Elizabeth passing away, a lot of things have happened since I was last in the UK.
I see. So could I ask you, Richard, so I saw from your profile that you grew up in Manchester, and so what was the reason that you moved away in the first place? Was it because you wanted to experience a different culture, or was it for work?
So first of all, I was in Manchester until I was maybe 7 or 8. My mum then got a job in Scotland, so I moved up there first of all, and I completed my school, university, and my career. Aberdeen in Scotland is sort of oil and gas capital of Europe, and I worked in oil and gas for 15, 16 years. I then sort of got a job, a position in Australia within the company. I was in Australia for a year. I was then going to be going back to the UK, but I decided to sort of take some time off. I'd never really had a holiday before, so I took a few months off to come and travel in Asia. And I was in Thailand for maybe 6 weeks. I was in Malaysia. I was in Singapore for 2 weeks. And then I came to Vietnam. Now, I was in Vietnam for maybe 6 weeks. My plan was to stay here for 3 months, and I was going to be moved over to Japan. Anyway, COVID-19 happened.
All right, I see.
And the borders closed, and I got stuck here. And it's amazing because I'll always remember my sort of friends and family saying, Richard, be careful. You're so close to China. You need to get away from there. It's so dangerous. Reach out.
Yeah.
They were saying that to me sort of end of February in 2020. And then at the end of March, they were all saying, Richard, don't come to the UK. It's a horrible nightmare here. Just stay where you are. It's much better there. But I decided to stay here because it was just a lovely community. It was wonderful. I traveled all over Vietnam, and it was just nice getting to travel in a country where there were no tourists. Sort of having the place to myself. So I stayed here for the 2 years that obviously the borders were closed. UK didn't seem like an appealing place to go to. So in that time, I ended up meeting my my partner.
That's lovely. Yes.
We've since had a daughter together, and we've been together many years, and I'm now sort of settled here. And how long I stay here for, I'm not sure. My partner, she sort of asks about, would it be better to go back to the UK for better schooling for our daughter? I'm not so sure, because there's plenty of wonderful international schools here. She's already set for life because she's not quite 4 years old yet, but she's fluent in English and in Vietnamese. She's so lucky. She doesn't realize it, but she's so lucky. So by the time she's 18, she'll have so many options available to her. So I mean, a decision's not been made final yet, but I would happily just stay here. The UK, I don't know. Maybe it's the news that I read. I don't know. Just the friends I have here that go back to the UK to see friends and family, they come back and say, you don't want to go back there. It's not very pleasant.
That's what I'm hearing as well. Yeah, I'm hearing that there's a lot of disillusioned people at the moment there, and they're complaining about the taxes and, generally kind of sort of unhappiness with life there. I feel that as well. Yeah.
Basically, all of the friends I know that have gone back, they've said that all of their friends and family just seemed very angry. They're complaining. They're frustrated. They're moaning about their jobs. They're moaning about their commute to work. They're moaning about the cost of living. They're moaning about the government. They seem to be moaning a lot. And then we've now got we've been used to a two-party political system in the UK for hundreds of years, and now that seems like it might be changing somewhat. That's a bit concerning. So I don't really sort of have any strong desire to go back to the UK.
So 6 years is quite a long time that you haven't visited. So the fact that you don't feel in that time that you want to go, because like you said, your friends visit you whenever they can, so you have like connections in different ways, and you feel very settled there. So how would you say, Richard, obviously like being in Asia is very different to being in Europe, so what would you say you enjoy the most about life in Vietnam?
First of all, the climate. I lived in Scotland for many years, and it's quite funny. Earlier on this year, obviously I've acclimatized to here, because in January, I remember going out for dinner one evening with some friends, and we left the restaurant 10 o'clock at night. It's a bit cold tonight, and I remember looking at my phone just to see what's the temperature. It was 21 degrees.
Oh, right.
Feeling cold.
Yes.
21 degrees in Scotland is barbecue weather. You
have to exactly.
Put sun cream on. It's crazy. So the climate is a big one. Food. I love Asian food more than anything in the world. That's a huge sort of selling point.
Yes.
I guess also the cost of living obviously plays a big part, because when I speak to friends and family back home, and they tell me sort of how much a weekly shop costs, and well, it does sort of, and it just not just that, but all of the other things. Utility bills. I think we've, since the conflict in Ukraine, in the last few years, the winters are quite difficult now. Energy bills are high, so I would be lying if I said that the cost of living doesn't play a big part of my decision as well. But I just, here, life is just so wonderful here. I go out and play. I play football a couple of times a week. I play beach volleyball. I live 30 seconds away from the beach.
Whereabouts are you, Richard? Sorry, which area is it?
I'm in Da Nang.
Oh, I've heard of it. I've never actually been to Vietnam, but I have friends who have been, who say how amazing it is. Yeah.
You need to change that. You need to be good to your family, be good to your boys, and take them here for a holiday. It's a 1 hour flight from Bangkok, and it's £80 return. If I was you, treat yourself and maybe come here for a holiday next year, because it's a paradise. The beach is 30 seconds that way. The airport is 7 minutes that way.
Yes.
I mean, where in the world could you get from the airport to anywhere in the city in like less than 10 minutes? There's no other city like that. So this is wonderful. In Saigon, in Hanoi, the air quality is not so good. In here, it's clean. It's lovely.
That's amazing. And does your daughter go? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, both Hanoi and Saigon have populations of over 10 million. You can imagine how things are with regards to the air quality and traffic here. The roads are a lot safer. Air quality, everything's just better here. It really is a sort of a paradise here.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you said that you met your wife. Is she from Da Nang, or did you end up settling there from another place?
She's from just south of Da Nang.
I see. Right. Yes. And how about her family? And are they nearby or far away?
Maybe sort of 2 hours away. Her two brothers live in Da Nang, so we get to see them often. But her mum and dad, they're a couple of hours sort of south.
Right, I see. Yeah. And does your daughter go to an international school as well?
Not yet. She's still in kindergarten now, but that will be. I don't know. We've got that. When's that going to happen? That will be next summer. That will be what we've already started to have a conversation about it. But there's a lot of choices, a lot of options available to us. So, we'll take our time when we make that decision.
So with my boys, they go to a British school here, which is one of the oldest schools. Yeah. And that's one thing that when we all go back to England, like everyone says, oh, it's great that your kids can see, meet people from so many different cultures. There's like 55 or 60 nationalities. And I think it's made them quite broad-minded. They come back and they say, oh, I have this Japanese friend and he eats this food, and my Korean friend, they celebrate this festival. So it's a bit like the Cambly equivalent for them in student life. Yeah, they have a lot of exposure, which I feel is so helpful in terms of their learning and their perspectives. Yeah, so
I like that. That's good. So they're enjoying their time there.
They really are. And when we came to Thailand, they were 1.5 and 8 months old, and my eldest was 10. He's now gone back to England, so he lives he was in Nottingham University, and now he's looking for jobs. And so he always says, if there's an opportunity somewhere else in the world, I would happily take it. He feels like he could do with the change as well. So change of scene.
Good. What about your youngest? What does he fancy doing sort of once he finishes his school?
So they're 14 and 15. So my youngest, the 14-year-old, is quite into IT, like my husband. You know, he loves anything to do with like technology. So he is thinking about something like that, computer science, along those lines. Yeah.
He should be okay.
Yeah. So we're almost out of time, Richard. I just wanted to say a huge thank you for engaging with me today. It's been a pleasure. Yeah.
You're welcome. Anytime. Listen, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.